Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jade, also known as the Starbook on YouTube and Instagram. I make luxury-related content every week, so if you're interested in these topics, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell button down below to get notified when I put out new content every week. So for this week, I thought it would be fun to cover the Hermes appointment system here in Paris. My friend was here this week, so I actually went through the process with her. She was able to get an appointment, and I thought it's quite of an interesting process to cover, just in case some of you might be thinking of traveling to Paris for a vacation trip and you're hoping to secure a leather appointment while you're here. To dive straight into it, we're gonna start off with talking more about how you go about booking a leather appointment online, and then I'm going to share with you some of my experiences in the past few years and of course my friend's experience this past week. So essentially how it works here in Paris is that if you want a leather good, you have to go through the leather appointment system, which is done completely online. You reserve your appointment one day before the day you would like to attend. So let's say today is Monday, I want an appointment for Tuesday, so then I would go online, go on the website and register for the appointment for tomorrow. Hermes is not open on Sunday, that's why usually if you register yourself on Saturday, that would be for an appointment on Monday. To walk you guys through exactly what you need to do to register for a leather appointment, go on to Google, search up Hermes appointment Paris, and usually the first two links that comes up will direct you to the right website. Once you're on there, you can see that it has several different languages. You can choose whatever language and you can go ahead and enter all your information. The first part of the questionnaire asks you if you have a preference in terms of stores. As some of you guys may know, there's actually 3 Hermes stores here in Paris. There's the Faubourg store, which is the mothership of Hermes, and then there's the Sab store and the Georges V store. So usually for me, I would choose the Faubourg store. No, it's not guaranteed that you'll get offered a handbag even if you have a leather appointment. So I'd rather my leather appointment at Faubourg than any of the 2 other stores. So moving on, the process is pretty self-explanatory, as you guys are going to see on the screen. You just go through the process, you register. It asks for email verification. It also asks for a phone number. For phone number, you can put your number. As long as you can receive text, it's fine. You can register also the appointment from anywhere in the world, as long as you know that you're going to be able to make it there in the store the following day. Or if you register on Saturday, you would be able to be there on Monday. Once you register, you're going to see this page that says your leather appointment request has been confirmed. That means you're good to go, and you will get essentially an email and a text saying whether or not you were successful between 8 and 8:30. And from my experience, usually if you don't hear something from Hermes between that period of time, usually means you have not succeeded in securing a leather appointment. But essentially that's how the whole process works. And if you were able to get a leather appointment, what happened is you get a confirmation email with a link. You go on and it will tell you approximately what time your appointment is at. I'll go more in detail in my story time, but the good thing to keep in mind is if your appointment is, let's say, at 3 o'clock, you kind of need to be around the area from like 2 to 4, because your appointment time can hop anywhere between that kind of 2-hour time phrase. Usually when your sales is ready for you, you'll also get another text that says your sales is ready for you soon. Please come to the store and basically present yourself at the leather good desk. If you are really looking to score a leather appointment on a trip to Paris, try to prepare at least a week of time of being in Paris so that at least you have some chance of getting a leather appointment. Again, this is not exclusive to your own passport. You can feel free to use your husband, your fiancé, boyfriend, family member's passport to kind of increase your chance of getting the leather appointment. That's essentially the gist of how the leather appointment system works. Now we're going to move on to a bit of a story time of my personal experience and my friend's experience with the appointment system here in Paris. So my first leather appointment that I've had back in 2020 when I first moved to London, and I actually applied for my leather appointment on the train to Paris, and I got my confirmation for the following day for the leather appointment. So I was very lucky because I was able to get it on my first try, but also keep in mind back in 2020 there wasn't so many tourists because it was during COVID, so that definitely I think made things easier. And at the time I attended the appointment with my fiance, now fiance then boyfriend. He is French, so I think that definitely helped a bit with how successful the appointment went. I forgot to mention the appointment was at the Faubourg store. I don't quite remember if back then the appointment was available for Chèvre and Georges V, but regardless, my appointment was at the Faubourg store. It was a bit later on in the day, and when we arrived at the store, we presented ourselves at the leather desk saying that I have a leather appointment. We made some small talk and the lady said, yes, I have you on the list, please take a seat, your sales will be with you shortly. My appointment was at the time later on in the afternoon, like 5:15. Sales eventually came to us and brought us upstairs. We made some small talks on the way up, and she brought us to a pretty closed off corner and asked straight out, Madam, what are you looking for? So by that time I was panicking because I think at that point in my life my collection was quite small and I was still a bit newish to Hermes, even though I've been shopping at Hermes for quite some time, but my experience with Hermes hasn't been great up to that point. So I was really nervous and I told her, you know, I'm really looking for a small bag because it's just extremely difficult to get a 25 or mini Kelly where I lived, which is back in Canada. So I was really looking for something in that size. In terms of color, I was looking for some neutrals. So that's kind of the things that I told her, and I told her as well, like, I really love Hermes, I've been a client for a long time. She mentioned that I was wearing my Constance, which I told her, yes, I got it in Spain, I love it, and so on. It was just like small little exchanges, and she was like, okay, I got what you want, so please wait, and she took off. It took quite some time before she came back. I think it was around 20 minutes. She came back empty-handed, bit of a panic, but she actually came back and said, Madam, could you follow me? Which that is a great sign. That means they have something for you. So she took me and my fiance to a small room with a couple of boxes already on the desk, and she opened them up one by one. So first of the few items were little things I've asked for, like small leather goods, wallet and stuff like that. And then we got to the smallish medium-sized box and she slowly unraveled it, and I saw it was a single handle in the color taupe. So as you guys probably can guess, this is the bag that I got from that leather appointment. I'll show you guys the pictures that I took at the time. But this is actually my first Kelly 25 and started my love for this specific size of bag from Hermes. The Kelly 25, as you guys will probably know in my previous video, is my absolute favorite. But yeah, she pulled it out, made some small talks again, and that pretty much ended the appointment. We also talked about our mutual love for cats, because she just got a kitten. But overall, even though in the beginning she looked very serious and I was quite nervous, but at the end of the appointment I came out very happy with the bag I wanted. So that kind of just tells you, you know, regardless of what time of the day your appointment is, you can very much walk out with your dream bag. It just depends on a little bit of luck and how much you bond with your essay and the mood of the day, frankly. And I think having my French fiance there was quite helpful, like by having two people at the appointment and a partner who's French, just I think made it felt more genuine to the essay. And I'm sure when she went to the bag, she definitely looked at my profile, which I have at that point had some purchase history in Paris, but it was not extensive. Moving on to 2021, I wanted to try my luck again at the Hermes leather appointment system. during the summer months because I was staying in Paris for a little bit, and that did not go how the first one went, and frankly it took a lot of tries to try to get a leather appointment. I think finally got my leather appointment after the 5th try, and that was in June of 2021. And when we got to our leather appointment, again, it was a very nice and welcoming essay. At that point, I've already kind of established a deeper bond with my essay at the other boutique in Hermes. So I've placed a special order at that point and built up a bit more of a purchase history. I'm not sure if that made a difference in the attitude of the essay, but she definitely did mention, oh, I see on your profile you have a special order, like that's amazing. I'm like, oh yeah, thank you so much. I have a essay I work with at one of the other stores. Anyway, so she brought out some things for me to take a look at. This time we didn't really go into a small room, it was just in an open area. I remember I had asked again for a smaller bag in white, or something like that, I can't quite remember. And she brought out a calicut in the color Blue Broom in Swift leather, and a Cali 25 in again Swift leather in the color Crespro or Piton, I can't remember. So those two were the bags that she offered me, and in the end I didn't end up taking either of them because I'm just not a huge fan of Swift leather on a bigger bag, or just I wasn't even considering getting a calicut. Even though they were very pretty, I kindly declined. They weren't really what I was looking for. So that appointment ended up with me not taking anything, but the essay was very generous and nice, and I honestly had a great time. The next appointment I got with Hermes was in that same year, in that same summer, so in 2021. After applying for appointments for I think like 2 weeks, I finally got another appointment, but unfortunately that appointment was on a Monday or a Tuesday right after a national holiday, so that meant there was no new shipment. Even though the essay again was very sweet and nice, he wasn't really able to offer me anything of interest. So at that point I was getting pretty frustrated, like I really wanted something, so I actually tried the walking method. So the previous 3 appointments I had are proper leather appointments scored through the online system, but the next appointment I had was through the walking method, which I don't know if you can still do, but to just kind of share my experience, what I did was I got to the Faubourg store first thing in the morning before they opened, lined up outside with the people that didn't have a leather appointment. As soon as the door opened up, I went up to the, I think, 2nd floor and found the gentleman that was in charge and told him about my situation. Like, I've been trying for a lot of leather appointments, I have been offered, but there was nothing I was interested in. Would it be possible for me to see a leather sales associate today to, you know, try my luck? And thankfully he said yes. He put me in the system and I got a text saying that you have a leather appointment today, but it didn't have a time. And eventually, I think around 3 or 4 p.m, I got another text saying that your leather sales associate is ready for you, please come to the store. So I went and attended the leather appointment in this way. And at that appointment, again, I met a lovely sales. She just asked me, Madame, what are you looking for? And I told her, you know, I'm really looking for a small bag. I would love to have a mini Kelly. It's like such a dream and it's been impossible to get. And she told me, I understand, Madame, but it's actually extremely difficult for us because we only get like maybe 3 to 5 mini Kellys per week maximum. Don't quote me on this, I have no clue if it's still true or valid, but that's just what I was told at the time. And she said, I will go and see what I can do for you. So she came back with 2 smaller boxes and she said, Madam, please follow me. Good sign. And we went into a small change room where she showed me the 2 bags. So she brought back a mini Picotin in gray, I think, and then the second box was a Kelly Pochette in black. So that will show you guys. This is The Kelly Pochette, you guys have seen this one as well. I was honestly so thrilled to see it, even though black wasn't really the color I wanted at the time. But to just see a Kelly Pochette in person made me so happy. And I, of course, said immediately, yes, I would take the Kelly Pochette. And she actually brought back a Rodeo as well, the So Black Rodeo Touch, because they actually had a patch in crocodile, so that ended up excellently with the bag anyway. So I took both. I took the Kelly Pochette and the Rodeo. That's essentially my story with the leather appointment system. All of my experiences have been with the football store because personally I just preferred that store if I was going to have a leather appointment and get assigned an essay at random, and I just know that the mothership have the most stock. So that's kind of my story. Now I'm gonna share with you my friend's story. She actually was here in Paris, like I said, this past week, so it's a bit more relevant as it happened in 2023. My last experience 2 years ago, because in 2022 I kind of just been shopping with my own sales associate. I have not gone to the leather appointment since. So she actually started applying for leather appointment a day before she arrived, and she actually got a leather appointment on her second try, which it literally never happens nowadays, but I think she just got frankly quite lucky. And her appointment was at Georges V, and if you are a local here in Paris, you know that Georges V is not an easy store to get a bag offer at, even with non-collar bags. So we were not in high spirits and we really weren't expecting much, but the appointment was initially at 3:15. So this is a thing I've talked about before, the appointment time shifting. She got the email the previous day saying her appointment at 3:15, but as the day went on, the appointment went from like 2 o'clock to like 3:40, and in the end the appointment was around 2:45. So we managed to get to the store in time for appointment. And again, the process is similar. We presented ourselves at the leather desk. My friend is new to Hermes. She doesn't really own any bags from Hermes, so I made sure I tried to take some of my Hermes items with me to kind of show, oh, even though she may be a new client, I am there with her as a more experienced client. I'm not sure how much of that played into the whole situation, but I think it definitely helps having a friend that's a Hermes lover, or just having a friend that's French with you at the appointment. I think it just makes the atmosphere a bit softer. But regardless, we waited for maybe 15 minutes before the essay came to us, and she was very nice. She was a very sweet lady, and she asked us what we're looking for. And I've made a list of the potential bags that my friend was interested in. I'll show you guys here. And I essentially just presented that list to her, kind of giving more of a backstory to why my friends are looking for these things. And she took notes of my friend's wish list and took off. And during the time we were waiting for the essay to come back, the lady behind us that were having a leather appointment had asked for Constance, and she actually got offered, I think, like 2 or 3 Constances just in the open, which was really shocking to us because going to the appointment we thought Georges V was a store that was very difficult with leather goods, but I think something has changed at that store, or maybe the weather was just really good that day that put the essay in a good mood. Frankly, I'm not sure. Anyways, by the time the essay came back, she came back with 3 boxes, and she started off with, unfortunately, we don't have a Birkin or Kelly, but we have some of the other ones, not in the exact color you requested, but in the size you're looking for. I think we were too involved in the moment, and I'm not the type that likes to take pictures constantly, so I didn't document the moment, but she unboxed 3 bags in front of us. One of them was a mini Rollius in the color Chai. The second one was a Bolide 25 in the color Nata, and the third one was a mini Evelyn in the color Nata. And my friend tried on all 3 of them. She wasn't really into them. At that point, I was making small chat with the essay, and I was saying, oh, my friend is really into just black and white, and that's kind of her color and aesthetic. We love the display mini Rolliers, like that's a perfect color for her, but unfortunately the chai I don't think suits her too well. And she actually offered us to say, if you're interested, you could take it. And at that point I was quite confused, like, you could take what? And in fact she was okay with selling the display bag. My friend went on and tried the mini Rolliers that was in display, which was in the color Piton with evercolor leather, and honestly it suits her so well. And that's the bag we ended up buying. So that's the bag that she went home with from that leather appointment. She didn't buy anything else, and that was, I think, a great experience for her, frankly, because she was offered at least alternatives to her preferences, and the essay was honestly super sweet and tried to be quite helpful. So that kind of wraps up both of our experiences with the appointment system. I think having some kind of purchase history or showing off that you're a loyal client of Hermes definitely help, and not being alone in the leather appointment can also help. And with my friend's situation, some of you guys that follow me on Instagram, if you haven't, please go there and follow me, would have seen that in the end she did get a Birkin 25. I'm not gonna go too in depth into that because it's not part of the topic of the video, but essentially she was able to score her dream bag with my essay here in Paris. So she got a Birkin 25 Sellier in Chèvre, which has never been done before. So it's a brand new thing that Hermes is doing now. They're doing Sellier in Chèvre leather, which is amazing because it's a lot easier to use than Epsom. Anyway, back onto the topic of the Hermes leather appointment system. Here is my tip for you if you are the lucky few that manage to get a leather appointment. One, I would say to be very genuine, just be open and genuine about who you are, what you want, and what you're looking for. Don't walk into the appointment with like no idea of what you're looking for. At least know the colors that you want, the size of the bag you want, and be quite firm about your choices, at least when you're presenting them. I think that to the sales is a signal that you're a true buyer and not a reseller. Secondly, dress kind of for what you're looking for. I find that a couple times when I have a leather appointment with a essay that I don't know, they tend to offer me bags that matched my outfit. In my case, I was dressed in white and blue and I got offered a white and blue bag. So I think they really do look at your aesthetic, the way you dress, and try to offer bags that suits you, which is quite nice. I don't know if that's something they do unconsciously or they do it consciously because they didn't have the bag you want, but that's definitely something good to keep in mind, to dress for the bag you want. And if you have Hermes goods, if you have Hermes handbags, make sure you wear them to kind of signal that you're a Hermes lover and you truly do use the things you buy from the brand. And lastly, I would say just enjoy the process. At the end of the day, it is still just a handbag. Don't let this thing destroy your trip here in Paris. If you're here in Paris, there's so much to enjoy. And I mean, Paris is a beautiful city with a lot of history, culture, museums. So definitely don't let yourself be taken away by the stress of hoping to score a leather appointment. It's just something that happens when it does happen. Be prepared and know what you want, and I'm sure you will be able to walk away with something you love. And be open-minded, because even though you might not be offered the exact thing you want, the essays will always be nice and try to give you something that they think you would like. Yeah, that's just my stance on this matter. I've honestly not met any rude essays. Like, some of them may appear very serious, but deep down they're all just really nice people, and I've honestly had no bad experience with the essays I've met here in Paris. They all have been super nice and sweet. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully it's helpful for you if you're trying to get your dream back here in Paris. I will see you guys next week. Thank you for staying to the end. Bye.